All right, the Shelter FootyCast live from BackChat Studios as they all fall down around us, Skeeters. Everyone struggles to keep going through this miserable winter weather in Western Australia. There's two men standing, and it's Will Schofield and Mark Reddings. How are you, mate?
Good.
Right?
No, I'm travelling beautifully. No, I've got through a big weekend of footy. It was good. Yesterday was cold on the boundary, as you would well know. I was down there doing my stuff for seven.
Yeah. You know, do they get you down there? I thought they might leave the king up in the box.
No, I quite like getting down there, mixing with the general
people.
That's me.
The general public.
That's me. It's cold, though. It was bitter.
Yeah, it was good.
So, no, it was good fun, good game. And the Dockers are alive and well, which is nice because the other mob are no good.
Your face all right? Your head all right? It's just worth mentioning. It's just worth mentioning. Mainly, I'm worried about you.
You should be worried. No, so I think without having a medical background or a dentistry background, I think I might have an abscess, something. Put it this way, my wife and my daughters are calling me the chipmunk. And, I called through adversity yesterday. I had to eat a sausage or a party pie on the left side because it's just a bit tender on that sid. But, yeah, I mean...
You had to eat a party pie on the left-hand side.
So, I had it on all weekend, but did I relent? Did I stop? No, I kept going, and I'll probably be in intensive care in about 3 hours. I had an appointment booked about now, and I said, no, I can't let Scully down. Jeez.
My head's about to fall off. I'm losing my jaw, but let's do the Shelter Footy Card. No, we appreciate you being here, Skeeter. Mate, did I see somewhere it was the bloody Logies yesterday?
Last night it was, in fact, yeah. Linda Granger won the gold. But, the lady from Home and Away. Oh, yeah. She's been there for 100 years, and now she's finishing up, so good on her.
So has she not won one before?
No, I don't think she had.
Parting gift?
Yeah, possibly.
You just give those Logies away?
I'm not sure they give them away. I think you have to be very good to get one.
So... I'll be mindful of the fact of why you won a Logie, right?
Yes,
because it's a serious moment in time that I know means a lot to you. However, I've got the fucking Logie here. Have a look at this. It's the bloody TV Week Logie. In the 4 years we've been doing this, I've never, I can't believe I'm touching it. I shouldn't actually be touching it.
Well, under your rules.
I know. I'm not going to give a speech here to say thank you, but mate, you finally brought it in.
Yeah, well, just thought, given it was on last night, and you've been asking for a while, I thought bring it in. Obviously, we know the sensitivities of it, but
yes.
I can look back and always respectful of those who didn't make it out. But that's
it's heavy.
It is heavy, and and there it is.
Is that on the wide shot there, Tony? Do you get it? Yeah, we'll leave it there, or should I put it in front of skate?
No, don't need to be front. No,
need shot.
No, don't need to. Don't need
the
to.
middle. Perfect.
Okay. There we go.
Can that stay here forever?
I don't know. I'm not sure, but I'm not sure what they're worth. But you're right. It's heavy.
It's not worth anything.
Is it? Okay.
Well, no. To you, it's worth everything.
It's not everything, but it's. I'd much rather put it this way. I'd much rather not have won it. There you go. That's the obvious answer.
All right. Well, that can just sit nice here.
With the Nine Network, by the way, just to clarify, it wasn't just one person. It had a few people helping along the way. It's not just me. Like you walk around the premiership medal. After
well, I bring the premiership medal and I hang it on the Logie and we just leave it there for eternity. Because my premiership medal, mine just sits in the bloody. I don't know.
Mine sits in my media room. You know where it is. It's near where the.
Yeah, on full display. Yeah.
No, but not full display. It's in the corner.
There's a big giant cabinet all lit, sunlit. It's got uplighting and downlighting.
A couple of awards in there. But if you've been in the business for 35 years, you're bound to win one or two along the way.
What other awards have you won?
Well, the Footy Media Guild. If it's like you're the best story or the best commentator, that's the same.
How many of those you won?
Oh, a couple dozen. No, I've got not a couple. Anyway, I'm not. This is not about. This is footy. This is not about me.
Well, what else you won? I just want to know.
Well, radio, TV commentator.
Best. Like best in WA?
Yeah, well, I think it was COVID because Dennis wasn't commentating and Paps was ill. So no, I got across the line on TV.
Everyone fell.
No, Stephen Bradbury. Beat your heart out.
What about any Australian? I mean, this is Australian.
Nothing national. I think we get left out. To be honest, we get left out. They have the big awards for the media in Melbourne. Yeah. I don't think South Australia, Western Australia, they know we exist.
They literally just
don't.
All right, here's the Australia Awards. For Melbourne.
Yeah,
correct.
Yes.
Well done, mate. Very good. Welcome to the Shelter FootyCast with WA's best footy show and WA's best beer combining to bring you all the biggest footy. You've got a Logie winner, premiership player. Skeet will have half a face.
But
we're still bloody here. We get it done.
6 teeth taken out today.
I'll give you an update on the BackChat bus over the weekend at some stage today, mate. But let's get into the show. I want to kick into footy because we've been talking shit for too long already. Mate, the MSH moment of the round, the big moment of the round. MSH, of course, your partner for mining, construction and remote project. If you've got a big project and you need big equipment, get in touch with Adam and the team at MSH, mshph.com.au. You can send them an email, hire@mshph.com.au. We had a look at their equipment the other day, Skeeter. I honestly don't know what you would do. Like, if I just said, Adam, we've got Skeeter down for the days, wants to help out the team at MSH. Like, what would you do in sort of mining and construction equipment and big projects?
Well, just to give you an example, I think I was 15 years of age. I went to do a day of work experience with my uncle who runs a plumbing business here, and I went out into the trenches, yeah, and with the shovel. Guess how many days I lasted? I lasted one, and that was it. And I realised absolutely I'm not going down that path, and better to use my other attributes that I have, which aren't that many.
Good looks and vocal talents, just hard work.
So, yeah, you're right. I would be like a fish out of water, but I would take the advice of the experts there.
Yeah, correct. Well, Adam would look after you because you would be nowhere. MSH, big moment of the round, I think, and this is my decision this week, Hayden Young and his soft tissue injury to Freo not only is a massive story for Fremantle and for Hayden Young, but for the competition. I just think with Hayden Young in the side, Freo, albeit for just two rounds, their midfield looked like a different midfield. And it wasn't just adding another player into the mix. He gave them something that Sarong and Brayshaw and Johnson and Erasmus and Fife, if he's around, don't give, which is the attacking prowess, the outside ability as an inside midfielder, the kicking ability, and that, I don't know, that could be gone for the rest of the year. We haven't had the full update on it, but that is a huge story given Freo's form. Freo is the most informed side in the competition right now. You can't argue against that. They won 11 of 12 or 10 of 11. And they've lost, I think, their most differential player, the one that can really make a difference in Hayden Young.
Are you feeling vindicated given you thought he shouldn't have come back when he did, albeit it's a different injury?
No, I don't celebrate injuries.
No, but are you?
Yeah, I was right. Yeah, you want me to say I was right? Yeah, I was right.
Why were you right if it's a different injury?
Well, because, mate, yeah, it's a good point.
No, I'm not.
That's a good point.
If it was a hammy, I think you could say, well, did they put enough work into it? But you're right, that's a big moment. Can I give you my big moment?
Yeah,
and it's got nothing to do with the Dockers or the West Coast Eagles. I thought the goal kicked by Isaac Rankin in the left forward pocket on Friday Night Football, he and Hardwick, I'm not sure if you remember the moment, he's a genius. That is that, and it was a game of the round. It was the best game by that far.
Goal of the year?
I'm not sure goal of the year, but if you look at it, you get a chance to look at what he did. Hardwick did nothing wrong. It was a boundary throw in. Yeah. Rankin, he could be the difference between anything for the Crows this year.
Another one that won't be on the stat sheet as well, if we just stay there with Isaac Rankin. And you're right, talk about big moments. Putting him into the midfield in the last quarter basically made the difference in that game.
Yep.
Earlier in the game, did you see one he tapped back into play?
Yes.
And Phil Thorpe got on the end of it and socketed it through. Even just little things like that.
Smart.
Yeah, very, very good player. So there we go. Yeah, Hayden Young. Like, do you think that?
I think you're right. It's significant, yeah. And we've gone back to the start of the year, and even with Young in there, which it makes a world of difference. I don't think Fremantle is the finished product in the midfield by any means.
No,
I reckon they're just, when Sarong gets shut down, if Brayshaw has an off day or gets injured, I think they need a bit more depth. And when I say depth, more quality. And Hayden Young brings that. Now, whether they can bring another player in or someone through the draft, it might well be Murphy Reid. It might well be Cooper Simpson in the next 2 or 3 years. But they do need, I think, just the ability to have 5, 6, 7 players go through there as opposed to the 4 or 5.
Yeah, I really hope they pulled it really early in terms of getting him off the ground and say we're not taking any risks here, and maybe it's a 1 week or something. I reckon
I think you're right. I think if you got him back before the end of the Homewise season, you'd be doing somersaults if you're the Dockers.
Yeah, you've got to get him. You had to get him through to finals. I don't know how you're going to do that. Maybe they did play him too long last week. Maybe they trained him too much this week. I don't know. I'm not, nothing to do with medical.
It might have been a groin injury. It may have been
the wet,
the slippery. Who knows? So I think unless you have the information, which we don't have, I think you have to back the medicos, who obviously cleared him to play 2 or 3 weeks ago, and now we wait and find out what the exact nature of the injury is.
Just a bad result. Talking about bad results, Will Day out for the season with bone bruising in the same foot. Now, we spoke to Steve Gravina when he first injured himself, Will Day. Right, Steve Gravina, physio, front-runner physio in Osborne Park, and he has been at AFL clubs for 15 years, now runs his own business. I distinctly remember him saying about Will Day, like this particular injury that he has, not only could be season injury, it could be career ending. It's a shocking injury. I very much doubt we'll see him for the rest of the year.
He's gone. He's done.
No, when he first did it, mate. So this is he's just come back. This is his second game back from the injury he did. At that time, Steve said we shouldn't see him for the rest of the year. It's too risky. Best player. The injury, if you keep doing it, like it's career over. Don't worry about the season. So when he came back 2 weeks ago, I was thinking of that conversation. It must have been a missed. I know, they must, think it's not going to get redone or whatever. For him to have redone or re-hurt that foot, same again, bone bruising, their best player, that's about as bad as Hayden Young, to be honest.
And if not worse, given the length and the severity of that injury and what he means to Hawthorn, because the stats before he went out injured showed how successful they were without him, and with him there, they are a far better side. And I guess we also need to maybe go back, I don't know which... whether you're watching Fox or Seven or what you were doing on Friday, you're calling the game, of course, Friday. So you would have heard it, but I'm not sure what you guys said, but there was a bit of talk about him leaving the ground and commentators suggesting the match shouldn't be stopped because it was just a cramp. So there were plenty out there saying, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And whether Matthew Nicks was blowing up, I'm not sure whether that was related to the match being stopped. But I think, and we've all make blues, in this case, I think there are a few on TV that called it a cramp, and the bloke has obviously injured himself significantly. So.
But the point there, I didn't see or hear that, but that's fine. The point there is, and I think it's a good point. I saw Kane talking about it a little bit, but Mark Foreman actually brought it up at the time on 6PR. If we're in a prelim final and the other team's got a run on.
Tactical.
Mate, you've watched a bit of the NFL. They do it in the NFL. The linesman just sits down. And then the whole game stops. They get to run an injury timeout. When they don't have any timeouts left, they do that. And it stops the game. We can't have that. We cannot have in a prelim or a big final someone being smart enough, because I guarantee you... But
then again, you go yesterday when O'Farrell goes down with the knee. When he goes down with the knee, it could be an ACL.
Yeah.
So it is, to be fair to the umpires, it all goes back to the Lockie Schultz moment, and that was a concussion case. I get where you're coming from, but then how do you then reach a position where the umpires have to judge in a split second or in 5 seconds whether this guy's milking or staging to try and change the momentum of a game?
Head knock or stretcher, maybe. I don't think we need to stop it for the length of time for them to walk off the ground.
But yesterday, O'Farrell, you had to stop the game, didn't you?
Yes, but I think you could have just played. They waited till he walked the entire way off the ground. Stop the game. What's going on here? But physio and doctors out.
But that's achieved what you're talking about with stopping the momentum. So I'm not sure there's an easy answer, Scully, to be honest.
But 2 or 3 minutes or 4 minutes or whatever it takes, that's too long. Well, I don't think you can avoid a 30-second stoppage. But for the distance it takes for a physio and a doctor to come out and go, we think he's broken his leg here. Okay, stop the game.
Yeah.
Come out, talk to the umpire. Like, we can talk to the umpires, can't we? He's got a cramp. We're going to get him off, but keep going. That's the discussion. Keep going. Some umpiring, interesting umpiring over the weekend again, which irked my...
Just pretty normal, isn't it? You're not happy with the umpires regularly.
Yeah. There were some poor ones yesterday, and there were some poor ones Friday. They almost ruined the... Well, I thought they did step their way in the last quarter, really influence the game, which I don't like, Skeeter, at all. Talking about Hawthorn with Will Day, did you see our man Jack Ginnivan, number one, fined for giving the bird? So he's just been fined. The AFL's done that, by the way, because they gave the fine. They have to just keep fining people.
Yeah, Harley Reid.
Well, I think Jack, is this the second time for Jack?
Could be more than two over his career.
So Jack Ginnivan fined for giving the bird to the Crows fans after the game. But then I wanted to get your take on, from a media side of things, mate, the door stopping at the airport. One, the actual act of the door stop, and two, the way this one was done.
Yeah. Did
you see it?
I did. I've had a look at it. obviously the young female journalist or the female journalist was told by the news director or the sports director to go out and doorstop Jack and ask him.
So that's what's
about the
happened?
bird. Yeah, absolutely. She wouldn't have just done that, and she would have been told. I'm 90% sure she would have been told, can you go out, get a line from Jack about flipping the bird. I think the theatre of it could have been better in the sense, the way she asked the questions, like, Jack could have had something abhorrent said to him over the fence. And you, as a journo, go, the Crow supporter who you've given the Crow supporters, how bad were they? I mean, it's not something I'd be going to doorstop someone. If a coach gets sacked, a player walks out, if Oscar Allen's walking out of the club tomorrow and he's said he's going to Brisbane, I think you're entitled to go and try and doorstop him.
But you've worked, mate, TV logos, you sitting in the middle here, you worked at news stations for a long time. If your news director goes, Mark, I need you to go down and get the bite about Jack Ginnivan, how would you have done that differently?
Oh, I think...
You're not going to say, I'm not going down there. I know you wouldn't.
But to say you're a sore loser, I mean, that's sort of, some of the wording I just think was wrong. And I think she'll look back and go, oh, if I had 3 or 4 questions prepared slightly differently, I'd be saying to you, Will, why did you flip the bird? Okay,
fuck off, mate.
That's probably what you'd say.
Hey, Skeeter, fuck off. What do you do then?
Well, were the Crow supporters abusing you?
I said, fuck off.
Yeah, you'd be like, and you look like one of those blokes. You got the hoodie and the beanie. You look like you're about to punch me outside court. And that's a dangerous occupation if you go to court stories. I tell you, I haven't done that. But the journos and the camera, you've seen plenty of camos get barreled over. So I reckon Jack handled it well, by the way. I reckon the journo, she'll probably look back in 10 years and go, oh, wasn't my finest moment. But yeah, I mean, the news director gets a bit of coverage, and so does 70s Adelaide.
So I think you've summarised that all well. I think Jack Ginnivan actually comes out looking better.
He laughed it off. I mean, really. I cannot overemphasise the fact he flipped the bird to a fan. I don't think it's a case where you need to chase him down the street.
No, I mean...
Or to the airport.
Part of me says... definitely part of me looks at that and go, I don't like... There's a lot of pile-on personally on that. Against
the young lady. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about, because she'll cop a lot of stick over
I don't really like that, to be honest.
No, nor do I.
But there's a tiny bit of me that goes, well, players... The same thing happens the other way around. If for whatever reason, they're in the spotlight, and I sort of think, well, maybe it's a good chance to actually have a think about what we're doing, as both as a journo and as players. I don't think Jack Ginnivan could have handled that any better, but it feels like the consequences for these sorts of actions are bigger now. Like I remember. This was like 07, maybe 07, West Coast under the pump, like journos out the front.
I know, I remember it, yeah. I was about to say, there'd be times when either Curry or Cuz are coming out of the Subiaco, and you'd have to go and try and ask questions. You know the tactic they'd use? Always.
What?
Have the phone to the ear, pretending they're talking to someone, which whether they were or not. But there was that, and there was so that was very similar times, I'm sure.
Oh well, because well, there was the pack of fucking vultures. I think I caught on a mic once. Like we were walking out to a thing, and they were there, and someone's just dropped pack of fucking vultures, which you were. You're looking for a story, and that blew up into something. I got done. Sort of Jack Ginnivan-esque, right? Like in inverted commas. When I got king hit, it was before the last round of the year, and I had my eye socket fractured. I got done for assault.
You look like me actually with the swollen.
Very similar, but I had slits for eyes. So I had 2 black eyes, and anyway, I'd sort of missed the flight to come home, and then I was not going to be playing, and I was at the club, and then I was coming out, and my wife Alex was picking me up, and I knew there'd be Will Schofield. There wasn't going to be a metre scrum, but I knew there might be a camera or two. And so I got Alex to pull out the front and said, "Can you just see if there's any cameras or anyone out there looking around?" No, you're all good. Came out, and I won't say who it was because, like I said, I don't really like the pylon, but a member of the media, pretty prominent.
TV?
TV, yeah. They were hiding around.
Is this in Perth or in Melbourne?
It was at Subi.
Oh, Subi, okay.
Hiding around the brick wall as he came out of the back entrance of Subiaco, and they come sprinting out and got me.
Was it a sports journo?
Yep.
Tall? Short?
No.
Male, female?
Yeah, correct. No, I won't because like you said, it's not necessarily theirs, but But I was filthy, and honestly, my wife was filthy. She was like going at him, and they come running. They literally ran out from behind a brick wall. They were hiding like that. I don't like that.
But by the same token, Scott, if you sit back now, and I know because I've been in the media, but if you're, and you know there's going to be some attention on you, you know the quickest and easiest way they're going to want a shot of you is to walk. Give a minute of your time, or just keep going, smile. So I can't talk. It's
no, that one in particular. Like I literally, it would have been a bad look. They never got my face. I hit it because it was horrific. Like, it was really bad. So anyway, that was my Jack Ginnivan moment. But we can all move on, I suppose. A couple of little ones. Skeeter, what did you say to me before? I can't remember. No. Saints are looking at signing Tex Wanganeen, the cousin of Nazaya and the son of Gavin. So I believe Gavin Wanganeen's sister is Nazaya's mum.
Yeah, Nazaya. I got told Martin LaCroix was telling me about Naz's family and his dad.
A bit of talent.
It's a real mix, and I didn't know, to be totally honest, and I thought, no wonder he can play footy.
Yeah, I think, Gavin Wanganeen, Brownlow medalist, of course. His sister is Nazaya's mum. Tex Wanganeen is Gavin's son. He played 5 games at Essendon over 3 years. Apparently, St Kilda are looking to bring a bit of family.
That sounds like a desperate move because it's
a good move to me.
But smart. When it comes to Naz, I reckon it's 50-50 between them and Port now. It's just there seems to be, if you haven't signed again by round 20, I know it might be a tactical move by the...
Well, up the offer then. Up the offer.
Who, Port or St Kilda?
St Kilda, mate. They literally may as well pack it up. He had 36 and 2 shots on goal again, and he was unbelievable. Just up the offer. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter. Mate, if he leaves, they'll have no one. They won't have a team. They will not have a team. And they didn't play their captain on the weekend. It wasn't Jack Steele, the sub.
Yeah, he was a sub. Well, Naz, I'll put it this way. Are you super confident he's staying at the Saints if he hasn't signed by no? No, exactly.
No. So up the offer. Have this conversation. Nazaya, what's the amount?
But he might, you know what?
What's the amount?
He might want to go to South Australia full stop. And it doesn't matter. The Eagles
Everyone's got a price.
The Eagles, do you reckon the Eagles paid what they could have to keep Chris Judd back in the day?
Well, maybe,
whatever.
Maybe.
Well, put it this way. They had enough collateral. But I'm saying, I don't think...
Because, they're not going to get it...
Is it exactly the dollars? Because Adelaide can't do a deal with him.
No.
Port Adelaide, there's talk of, what's Butter's future moving forward. I just think the longer this goes on, the more the St Kilda supporter base should be concerned. But, from their perspective, I hope he stays.
No, I agree with you. So get it done. Everyone, I don't know what you need to do. Just get it done. Get him a jet. Just I don't know, gold. Say, I really don't know. Don't care. Get it done. Skeeter, you went 8 from 9 at the tipping. You still on top? You're still on top? I
would expect I would be, yeah. Not too many getting 9 out of 9. Mind, it wasn't a...
Was 8 or 9?
I got 8, yeah. I missed Brisbane. Right. And I was happy to lose that one because I think the Lions are great to watch.
So Brisbane beat Collingwood, did they? I was on the.
So you just missed the complete day?
Yeah, I did.
Lost a day in the process.
Yeah, I did, actually.
Yes, they beat them.
Right, okay. 8 and 9.
Logan Morris, outstanding.
I got 6 and 9 because I actually had a bit of fortitude and showed a bit of guts. And
so you got the Giants wrong, basically.
I got the Giants
You were
wrong.
gone 5 minutes in.
And I picked Hawthorn. I and the Giants.
Yeah, so you...
So I had a crack. And you, safe, vanilla...
And so essentially it's probably cost you another $300 or $400 with your tipping.
I am 211th. I have slipped about 40 spots in the last couple of weeks, which is $400. Yes, so you're right.
I wish Alex would know about this.
211th. So, yeah, it's going well. Not a great deal of time left to make up those spots either, Skeeter. So there was a couple of 9 out of 9 skate this week. Spud King's got 9 from 9. And Sagong Sarite, which is Scott, got 9 from 9.
Yeah.
Both with a margin of 57.
I don't know what that means.
They missed the margin by 57, so they must have had the Bulldogs by 30.
Oh, you have a margin on each game, do you?
Yeah, I know, just the first one.
First game, okay.
But Spud Kings had the better overall tip, so he'll be the weekly winner. Well done, Skeeter. Right, let's get into it. Mate, let's get into the games. I'm going to start with...
Because there's 6 games that deserve scant attention, let's be honest.
Great, and we'll do that. Because I'm not going to spend... I'm not spending 20 minutes on
North Melbourne St Kilda, why not?
No. Melbourne 139 defeated West Coast 56. I mean, this is one of them. 15 goals to 5 after half time. I didn't see a minute of it. It was at 11 o'clock on a bloody Saturday. Anything for the West Coast fans on this skate?
No. Given I was doing waffle, I didn't see much either, but they... I saw nothing. No, I did see a bit early. McCarthy and Marek down back were okay, but they butchered the ball coming out of defence. And it was... look, the Eagles... are they any better than they were 12 months ago? Here's the question. Let's try and not just analyse this game because they were gone a long way out here.
Well, I think they are. Yeah, I think they're not playing in these games better, but I think a number of players have got better, which means they're better. Yeah, and then you'd just be hoping that you can add back, and if Oscar leaves, well, you have to take him out. But you're hoping you get Jake Waterman back into the fold.
Yeah, Elliot Yeo potentially.
Elliot Yeo back into it.
There's no doubt.
There's not too many. There's not too many. I was about to start reeling them off, but
there's not that
McGovern, Sheed, and if it's Allen, like none of them come back.
No, it's like I reckon you'd have people argue with you. They've been beaten by 83 points by a Melbourne team that is, let's be honest, they have been on the skids. They've been terrible. Yet they made them look second rate.
Yeah, but they literally don't have any players.
No, they got. You're right. Well, let's say Ryan Marek in defence, 29 touches, a goal. There's just no... Kelly had it 26 times. McCarthy, I think, has been one of the few shining lights with 26 since he's arrived at the club, but he's not going to change the fortunes for you.
It's a long way out, Skeeter. Chesser had a goal at 17. But
it was important for him to play some footy. I mean, he's had a terrible run. And I know you're sort of shaking your head, but maybe he's a guy that can hopefully get some continuity next year, but... He's also, is he guaranteed to go on next year? Is he part of the plans from McQualter?
I don't know.
Tommy Gross, I haven't looked at his numbers. I mean...
Yeah, he had 13 disposals, but you look at the bottom of the, there's players that are having 4 and 3 touches and 5 touches, 4 kicks. I don't know where they played Dewar, but he had 4. Liam Ryan had 6 touches. There's just a lot of non-contributors, which you're going to have in almost a 100-point loss, aren't you? So,
yeah, no.
Are they better? I think.
You think they are?
Yes, holistically. What do you think? They're either better or they're worse. It can't be the same.
Well, they have to be worse because they've won one game.
Right.
And I'm just saying on results, and you're talking more style of play, I know, but I've seen signs of improvement, but I've also seen the skill level I don't think has gone north to any large degree, no.
Yes, okay, fair enough. Let's move on then, Skeeter. Fremantle defeated Carlton 94-67 at Optus Stadium in a pretty good game. Another game in which Freo have to come from behind in the last quarter to win a game. Again, 8 weeks ago, they were 1-22 in situations like this. They've won 4 of them, I think, in the last
coming from behind at three-quarter time, and some significant victories in that grouping. And it's people are knocking the Dockers. I left with Sean McManus yesterday. I said, mate, sometimes you've just got to win those types of games where they clearly weren't playing great footy.
Yeah.
They were down, and Carlton, I thought, were excellent with their pressure, with what they did in the first half. Paddy Cripps was enormous. Look, it took Jordan Clark, I think, to really keep the Dockers up and running because Caleb Sarong was shut down. He only had 5 disposals in the first half. He had a really good second half. But yeah, they just ground their way back. Third quarter, they started to get more entries and get themselves into a position to kick a score. And then the last quarter, I think they've got that belief, which, when you got Voss and Tracy making an impact, I think in attack, the Dockers showed me that they're a legitimate top 4 contender. You say they're the most informed side in the competition.
Well, they are.
You're probably right. I mean, Brisbane's the best side in the competition, I think. If you put your life on who's going to win a flag, if we play the MCG this week, Brisbane's still probably the best side, I think.
Yep.
But they've had their moments as well in the last month.
Yeah. To the point, Skeeter. I just say that because of what they've been able to do. Like you said, they've got to be able to win games of footy, and a lot of times over the last few years, Freo have not been able to do it. You don't have to look any further back than last year when they lost the last 4 games of the year and lost their way out of finals. They're not going to do that this year, and the Heyscape escape of the week is this game right here, and it's not just the game, but it's finals footy. I say now, Freo cannot miss finals, Skeeter. Heyscape.com.au, that is the game that locks them in, given what happened in other results. And Heyscape, of course, our great friends over there. They're off-grid, sustainability-conscious cabins with premium interiors. So you got cabins all around Western Australia, Denmark, Yallingup, Busselton, 2J. There's the winter code that's running right now that'll save you $150, Skeeter. So you go to heyscape.com.au, use winter 150 at checkout, and you can save some money there. You can take your partner, Skeeter. You can take your mates. You can pretend you're camping and stay in some luxury accommodation. Again, I think that's right up your alley. I honestly think you should be a personal ambassador for this brand, Skeeter, because you can tell all your friends that you're going out into the outdoors and camping, but you actually get somewhere nice to stay.
Yeah, it suits me down to a T. I'd have to agree with you on that.
So the Heyscape escape of the week is Fremantle into finals. They're escaping being in the relegation zone and missing finals. I don't think they can miss right now, Skeeter.
No, I'm thinking, how do they finish top four? Because there's no point finishing... Well, no, say no point. 5, 6, 7, 8. It's all very well and good, but from a WA perspective, you're very much at a disadvantage, or you're going to struggle to make a grand final. You finish top 4, and you play Adelaide. If they finish on top in Adelaide, you go over there with a real pep in your step.
No, I understand that, but at three-quarter time in this game, they're down by 10 points.
You're right. They've got Brisbane to come.
Don't worry about top 4.
You're worried about finals.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so I think it's a credit to them because, like Absolutely. You said, you just got to go and do it. Again, it was set shots, so they kick set shots and all that, like big set shots. Since the bye, Fremantle have been a top 2 side for set shots in the competition. So that's not luck, that's repetition, it's mentality. And I just think they've got themselves in a really good spot because a lot of players are starting to stand up in the big moments. You're right, Ollie Lord tagged Caleb Sarong, so had 5 touches in that first half. Got his way into it in the second. They brought Jager O'Meara into the middle of the ground, definitely in that third quarter, and changed their mindset a little bit there. It is worrying, I still think, that 5 touches in a half, difficult for Caleb. It's not necessarily personal, but they need to continue to work through better systems and structures in order to get him going. And that might just mean not allowing one of the opposition midfielders to have 23 touches in the first half, i.e. George Hewitt, and go and play on George Hewitt. Run him around as a tandem. Sometimes I think they're trying to force him into the game and maybe it's just sacrifice him for a tiny bit. I don't know. Maybe they're already doing that. Are you
any level concerned about, and look, they ended up winning the clearances 50-43. Centre clearances 16-7. They were beaten. And that seemed to be an issue. I know that's
11-1 at half time.
Exactly. So, how much of an ongoing concern would that be?
Big.
Yeah, but they're just still winning matches. But
that's huge because you can't
keep doing that, can you?
You cannot win games if you give up field position. It's why the midfielders are so important, and it's why I bang on about Backman and give them a good league. But it's about the midfield because if you're losing field position from the first point of
in
play,
finals particularly,
you just can't hold up. It's just too hard. Backline won't do it, so they'll be having discussions around that. That's a system thing usually. A bit of effort maybe, but that's a system thing. So Carlton came into the game a top 4 clearance side.
That's their one wood, isn't it?
Yeah, like a number 1 contested ball winning side in the comp. So that's how they were going to challenge them, and they did. But Freo find a way to get out.
You mentioned Hayden Young briefly. I was at Claremont on Saturday, and Nat Fyfe played for Peel against the Tigers. Had 27.
Good.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was physical. Look, his kicking is always nothing to get too excited about. But that's irrelevant because we know where he's at there. But I thought it was a really good sign that to get through. I think he played till three-quarter time, and so played 60%, 65, 70% of the match. Yeah, and he took on, had some roles where he had to take down, say, Jai Bolton. Tackling-wise, he was strong. I thought physically he looked good, and albeit the conditions very difficult. It was a bit of a mud pit there.
Didn't Will Brodie have 33?
Yeah, Will Brodie, but that's
I know.
He had 42 the previous week.
I know, but Matt Johnson's now done. Hayden Young, we think, is done for a bit.
Yep.
Surely Will Brodie just comes back into a conversation.
No, his card's marked, I would have thought.
Wow.
No, I'm not saying that to try and dismiss him because clearly he would have been back in the side by now. With the numbers he's been getting have been through the roof with Waffle for a while. I think Fife comes back into the equation before Brodie, and whether that's as a sub, I don't think he comes in this week. Yeah. I doubt it. Maybe, again, we haven't been on the money with a lot of our predictions about the fitness or otherwise of players, but it was a really good first step back for Fife, and I think he wanted to stay out there even a bit longer than maybe was scheduled, just to give himself and the club, the Dockers that is, just a bit more proof that he won't be 3 or 4 weeker if he plays maybe one more game in the Waffle, or if required, he could come back in as a sub this week.
So, where does Freo finish?
Put them down for a win against Port. Again, that's not a gimme because it's in Adelaide. Brisbane here on a Friday night is enormous. And the Lions are playing outstanding footy away from home. And then you finish at the Bulldogs' fortress, really, Marvel Stadium. So they could be, in my mind, they could be win 1 and lose 2. Or they could probably win, if they could win 2 of the 3, let's be sort of glass half full, 2 out of 3 wins puts them, if not in the top 4, certainly in that realm, isn't it?
Yeah, I just while you were speaking was playing around with my ladder predictor. I'm right into it this year because that 9th team, someone's going to miss out. I'm playing around with it all. So I don't know what I've done with the other results. But as you were talking, I gave them 1 win out of the next 3. So they beat Port, lose to Brisbane, lose to
Worst
Bulldogs.
case scenario, really.
They missed finals in my ladder predictor.
Is
So
that right?
I put my hand to the head. Yeah, I've got them 9th. But I have Hawthorn beating Melbourne in this scenario. I have Hawthorn... I have Hawthorn losing against Brisbane.
Can you give Fremantle 2 out of 3 wins and then see where it lands?
Okay. They make finals, definitely.
No, I'm not.
They definitely make finals.
I know you weren't listening to me, but I said if they win 2 of their next 3, they become...
Top 4.
If not top 4, really, really close.
I just flipped Collingwood Hawthorn this Thursday. So I had Hawthorn winning it, and now Freo are back in the 8. So this Thursday game, Collingwood Hawthorn, is very important for Freo in a way.
So which team do you think will make it if the Dockers don't under your ladder predictor?
Well, everyone does. There's only 9 of them.
So there's the 9th team?
The 9th team would be Freo, and then Bulldogs make it.
But at the moment, who's 9th? So the Giants are 9th? Or Bulldogs?
Bulldogs are 9th.
So you think they get there under that scenario?
Yeah, because the Bulldogs beat Freo to make that. So... I said that Freo guaranteed to make finals. I'm sorry about that. I do personally apologise to the Freo supporter base because I'm sure a lot of you listening going, shut up.
And they'd know more than you and I about where and how many victories they need.
Yep, that's it. All right, let's get into it, Skate, and we're going to whip through some of these. Bulldogs defeated GWS by almost 100 points, 132 to 44. Thursday night, Dogs dominated, kicked 12 of the first 14. GWS just weren't even there. We saw Adam Kingsley speak about it at the end of the game, said it was almost his worst performance ever as coach.
Well, the biggest losing margin really for some time.
Big game.
Yeah, and look, you can go back and say, well, the emotional high of that win against the Swans and the second half comeback, well, they've started slowly again. And within 5 minutes, the trend of the game said the Dogs were going to win and win pretty comfortably. And up forward, we know that they've got... The Darcy factor's enormous, and Aaron Norton, you and I called a game earlier this year, and he looked so out of sorts. But his last month, and obviously coincidentally, once Darcy returned, his fortunes went sky high. He's played great footy.
They have kicked 7.5 goals a game between them since Darcy's come back. So they've kicked 60 goals combined in the last 8 matches.
Yeah.
So that's a seriously dangerous forward line. Does this win say more about the Bulldogs or more about GWS?
Oh, no, everyone's knocking the Bulldogs' inability to beat sides sort of in and around the 8, and they did that convincingly. The Giants have been their bunnies for a while, so that was, more questions, I think. You've got to ask more questions of the Giants, clearly, about what the ceiling is for them and where they're going to get to. And let's be honest, you take Toby Green, Jack Buckley, Josh Kelly out of that side, and it's not insignificant. But I'm not saying they can't reach the finals or at least be a contender. But at this stage, you've got to put them outside that top bracket of clubs, even just on that performance. And where they're going to finish? They're going to finish lower in the 8 if they get there.
Adelaide 101 defeated Hawthorn 87, and I think it was the match of the round on Friday night, Adelaide Oval. 23 of the 28 goals were scored at one end in this one. There was no wind. I was calling it on radio the vortex.
Sam Mitchell said, I just had to check downstairs to see if there was any breeze I'm missing.
Yeah, it was crazy. Because the Hawks jumped out to an absolute heater in the first quarter. They kicked the 5 first goals of the game, all over the Crows. Then they kicked the next 8. And then we're thinking, okay, well, now they've kicked in the gear. Then the Hawthorn kicked the next 5, and they were back in the business. So, yeah, it really came down to that last quarter and who wanted it more a little bit. They had players that stood up, Phil Thorpe, Starr. A couple of his goals were for some poor defensive actions from Hawthorn, I thought. Weren't working hard enough as a back line, which would be troubling to Hawthorn. Isaac Rankin, as we spoke about before, was elite. And Jordan Dawson, in that second quarter, when his team needed it and someone needed to stand up, he kicked 2 goals, had 12 touches and just said, get on my back, boys, and got him right back in the game.
Yeah, he could be All-Australian captain without anyone blinking an eye, I don't think. He's been one of the great pickups in the last 5 years, hasn't he, really? And to go across from Sydney to Adelaide, do what he's done. We mentioned Rankin already. His quality, the big forwards of Adelaide getting it done, and this is the first time since 2017 they've been on top of the table. And we know what happened that year, of course. They made the grand final, didn't get the result, but I've got to be honest. I mean, Glenn Jakovic said to me a month ago, he said, don't discount what the Adelaide Crows are doing and what they can do. And as it stands, they're you talk about Fremantle being the form team of the comp. Well, this team's not far behind them. And what they are doing, and we talk about the Bulldogs, I think what the Dogs have done is they've said, righto, our defence isn't that great, so we're just going to kick a winning score. Kick a score of 100 points or more. If you beat us, good luck to you. Adelaide have actually got a great mix forward and back and mid. There aren't too many pieces missing. Michael Annie wasn't there on the weekend. Rory Laird will probably come back hopefully this week for them. So it's it's a top 2 spot. That's all you need. You don't need to finish on top of the minor premiership. Just finish top 2 in the Crows. That game against Collingwood next week, I think it is, becomes, as in next week, becomes just so significant. They've got the Eagles this week, so if there's any issues with percentage, that'll be taken care of.
That's here, isn't it?
That is here.
Goodness, what is going to go on there? It won't. Surely it's not going to be a 150-point win.
That's 150. But realistically, it should be big. It should be 10+ goals.
Look, Hawthorn are going to rue that game. It was a game they could have won. They had a set shot. Dan Brosio had a set shot late.
I know.
Easy. He's one of their best kicks in their team. Misses
Isn't it funny? Like some field kickers, just so perfect when it comes to spotting up a 30, 40 metre. But in front of goals, there's a different mindset.
Yeah, well, that's why I like what Freo's doing with their set shot kicking. They're never missing. Dan Brosio misses, goes straight to the other end. Taylor Walker kicks a big set shot. Game over. I'm not saying it's certainly not his fault, but I think that moment, I call it on radio as the moment Hawthorn missed the finals. I think that they'll rue not being able to beat Adelaide because they definitely had an opportunity to do it. Yeah,
and I was a bit upset as well because I had Hawthorn at +12.5 and Dan Brosio is not on my Christmas card list at the moment. And nor is Jack Ginnivan or Gunston. And the last quarter.
Watson is...
was it Watson the last quarter? Anyway, I just turned away.
Well, I reckon they must have known. They must have known that.
That I was on?
Yeah. At all. What other possibility could it be?
I looked to the heavens, I said, can I speak to the big guy occasionally? I said, listen, mate, any danger, just give me one.
You spoke to God.
Well, mate, Catholics were allowed to speak to God occasionally for a multi-collector.
Hey, off the back of those two, I just wanted to give you a quick update, Skeeter, on those 3, or 4. How many games have done? A few. Can I give you a recap of the BackChat bus? The sheltered BackChat bus?
Yeah, go for it.
Because I ran into a lot of people asking where you were, for starters.
Or working.
Yeah, well, a lot of people were, where's Skeeter? What's going on? When's he getting here? I remember someone saying, I just love it. So that people calling you and I father and son for a lot of it. One memory was like sitting, like closing eyes, like when I just hear that raspy laugh of Skeeter, I can just hear the weekend that he's had. I just love hearing it when he actually opens up a bit. Some guy was getting emotional today. He's like, I've known Skeeter for 40 years and you finally brought out the Skeeter we bloody know and love with the Shelter FootyCast. So it was bloody good. So the BackChat bus, was a couple of little hiccups.
A couple of hiccups.
Well, a couple of hiccups. Couldn't drink on the bus. Couldn't have the BackChat ales on the bus.
Well, that's just a legal requirement. You can't be drinking on a vehicle.
Well, I didn't
factor that in.
No.
You think you're in?
We had like the big.
What do you think you're in Bali? Did you?
We had like the big black party bus. Like I had party bus written on the side.
Yeah. It was like Nashville. They're just a party town.
Yeah. No, I did think I was in Bali. Yeah, that's where I was when we started at the gate. And yeah, after success, it was good. Yeah. Yeah. Look, it was a good day. People enjoyed it. Got to have some BackChat ales, Skeeter. So
any was it all just guys, or any couples just holding hands at the back of the bus?
So big shout out to Bryant and his beautiful partner. So Bryant dragged his partner along.
Yeah, drag would have been the operative word.
So it was his birthday.
That was her gift to him.
Yes.
Sitting on a bus with a bunch of smelly blokes.
Yes.
Drink half drunks. That'd be the worst. My wife and for Alex, that'd be the worst possible 4 hours of their lives.
What a birthday present. What a birthday present. So it was good, mate. We went to the gate, to the Wembley, and to the Leadable Hotel, and finished off there. So it was very good fun.
Very nice. And Masto?
Yeah, Masto's alive, I think. Yeah.
Very good. I'll try and make the next tour of duty.
It was a special appearance by Josh Kennedy, Coleman medalist.
Where did he rock up?
He rolled up at the Leadable, said hello to the boys. Oh. So that was good, Skater. So we survived. Which is a little bit surprising from some of the people involved on there. Ben King, who's he play for? Gold Coast 107 defeated Richmond 23.
Yeah, they got older.
107-23.
There's some terrible matches this weekend.
I think this was on while we're on the BackChat bus. Gold Coast. If you don't want to get some BackChat ales, by the way. You can get them at shelterbrewing.com.au. The whole point of the day was to have BackChat ales, and we absolutely had them, and they were brilliant beers. So go and get behind Shelter and get behind us and go buy some right now.
Noah Anderson, 38 disposals. Thanks for coming. We mentioned Ben King. He kicked 4. I'll just have a quick look at the ladder and what the percentage is. So as it stands, the Suns are 6th. Their percentage 125.1, which is superior to the Dockers, superior to Brisbane, although that's not going to come into play, I don't think. But around that 52, 56 mark.
We got Hawthorn and GWS covered.
Covered, yeah. So their percentage, I don't think is an issue, and they were just slaughtered a Tigers side that, they've been good this year to win the 5 matches, but I think they're done.
I won my fantasy qualifying finals. I'm into the prelim. I've never won in 23 years. I've never won the grand final, so I'm in a good spot, Skate.
This is where you pick players and
Dream Team.
Dream Team, okay.
It's literally how I know anything about AFL is because I watch the players that are in my side.
It's the same if you're having a bet, and obviously to gamble responsibly. Yeah. It's amazing how you'll do your resurch and you study because you want to be trying to make a quid.
You're heavily invested. You're invested in the outcome. Let's move on. Sydney 68 defeated Essendon 54 at the SCG Saturday Arvo. A closer game, but it was wet in this one. There was a bit of action all over the place. Brodie Grundy continues to dominate the AFL. 39 disposals, 32 hit-outs, 13 clearances.
Who is the All-Australian ruckman or ruckman?
He'll go close, mate.
Okay, so if you're nailing yourself to 2, and we'll give you 2 ruckmen.
So it's out of 4.
No, but you want
I know.
2.
Well, I just tell the 4, Brodie Grundy.
Yes.
Tristan Sherry, Max Gawn and Rowan Marshall.
I'll tell you what, Damien Harvey could be dirty with you.
Oh, so the Nate the Tank?
No, he coaches Gold Coast, and Jared Witts is up there.
Oh, sorry. If you even more angry with
Take the tank. Damien Harvey has been coaching the Suns for a little bit now. Anyway, give me your 2. I wasn't trying to catch you out.
List every ruck. Well, yeah, it's not hard. I think Brodie Grundy, and they're going to have to play a second one.
Max almost is by default. They sort of go back to him, don't they?
Yeah, I mean Luke Jackson.
No. I don't think he's in All Australian ruckman conversation. That's just fine.
What is he in? What is he? He's a hybrid. Because if you're picking a team, you wouldn't pick Brodie Grundy and Max Gawn.
No. We've seen how that hasn't necessarily worked.
So couldn't you pick? I mean, Brodie Grundy and Luke Jackson would be a pretty good combo.
Yeah, but unfortunately, this team's not playing. So
they should pick it like they are, in my opinion.
So you're going Grundy and
Luke Jackson.
Jackson. Okay.
Well, who are you going?
I think Grundy. I think you're right. Grundy And I'd like to see Cherry rewarded. He's in a terrible side. I know he's missed a couple of games on the way. That might tell against him.
Didn't he get reported? Oh, he can still win.
Yeah, you can.
See, that's an anomaly, isn't it? Can't win the Brownlow, but you can be All-Australian.
Yeah, it's strange. Yeah, a bit strange. I'm not sure that Barry Orr would have been All-Australian the year that he took care of Brent Stake.
Let's move on. Yep. Both are relevant teams. Brisbane 92 defeated Collingwood 65 at the MCG.
Yeah, we talked about the blockbuster Friday. This wasn't far. This was 82,000. I think a record crowd for interstate home and away game. I stand corrected, but with certainly big numbers at the G, and Brisbane after that the thrashing they got from their little brother on the Gold Coast. This was even by the admission of Chris Fagan. This was a match where he's going to trust them until they show him that they've lost their way. But to Hugh McCluggage, we talk about players, obviously, the other side of the country, up in Queensland, probably doesn't get the due recognition. But he, again, superb 34 touches to him. Dunkley, 31. Lachie Neale, 36. In midfield, and without Will Ashcroft, 30. They just had Collingwood on the back foot from the get-go, didn't they? And,
they're not in a slump, are they? I mean,
who's that?
Collingwood.
Oh, they're in a little slump. But this is not too dissimilar to 23. Well, I think they lost 3 out of 4 again. The hard part for them is that they were so comfortable at the top of the table. Finishing top 2 was the only thing that matters, and that's all that really you're worried about. And
so is that guaranteed?
No, not anymore. Not after losing to the Suns, to the Dockers,
and to Brisbane.
And they've got Hawthorn to take care of, which I think they can. But yeah, they're missing. Put it this way: Darcy Moore, I think, has been exposed in the sense that, as good a backman as he is, one-on-one, he needs the Jeremy Howe or Billy Frampton to come in there to try and play that lockdown, and he can do his intercept work. And you can speak better to this.
Yeah, well, he's never been an elite one-on-one defender. He's been an elite interceptor and game reader. So when he gets exposed and how quick the game is moving now, speaking to Jeremy McGovern, who elite intercept defender, just said the game's so fast now that you do find yourself more in one-on-one situations. Collingwood hasn't beaten a top 8 side since May 30.
Is that right?
Yeah. So they are on a
little slip. But you should rather be where they are and just having to regather before September. I don't have the concerns that others do by virtue of the fact that I think I do trust Craig McRae, and I know he genuinely trusts the team that he has and the experience they've got. I've still got them probably making the grand final still.
Do you? Talking about Craig McRae, there little word going around that Michael Voss not happy with Craig out talking to Jack Silvani and double dating him and ranting around those things, because they would have been teammates at Brisbane, Craig McRae and Michael Voss. So they'll know each other well. So I wonder what sort of mind games are happening behind closed doors there. I heard Vossi asked it in his press conference yesterday, bristled. Did you hear it?
I did not. I was getting out of the cold and into my home.
Bristled. When you moved your new home?
A little bit.
Do you need a hand with that?
Well, I'll get some removalists. I'm not sure Skeet and Scully's removalists to do the job. Not sure that has quite the same
Cheech and Chong.
Where are you? Oh, we just popped into the Wembley for one.
We'll be there tomorrow. See you tomorrow. All right, let's move on.
Anyway, okay. Now, I want to finish with something, but and you keep going. I've got just one just at the end, just to ask you a question. But let's continue through the rundown as it stands.
What is it? Do you want to ask it now?
No, I'll ask it at the end.
Oh, this will be brilliant. Really looking forward.
It's a bit delayed because I meant to ask it last week, but I forgot.
St Kilda 78 defeated North Melbourne 69, Marvel Stadium.
Can I be honest with you?
Geelong 150.
This is a game. This is another game I didn't see. How many matches did we see between us this week?
I saw Thursday and Friday.
I saw Thursday because I called it. Saw Friday.
I definitely saw the Freo game. I called that.
Yeah. Yeah, so did I. And that's about it.
I was on the BackChat bus for 4
and I saw a bit of the Collingwood game. So how are we doing 9 games?
I'm not going to break it down. I'm not going to offend our audience by breaking that down.
Which game?
Wanganeen Miller is a gun. Yeah. Jack Steele was a sub. That was the only one. I don't know what. Ross Lyons said he was sore after last week, and it was management. Come on, Ross. Please don't play him. What are you playing him for?
Yeah, no, I agree.
I don't think it's a good move to play the captain as sub. Do you agree with that?
Not a great
I
look.
think
No,
it's a
no.
good look.
Colby McKercher 36-1, but the Kangaroos they lose by 9.
We're not doing that.
They're not, okay.
We're not doing
They're no good. And St Kilda will finish off and finish the season with a bit of a pep. They don't care about. It's all about Nasiah, whether they can keep him. Really, that is the pure focus of any St Kilda supporter between now and the end of the season. Winning a game of footy is almost they'd sacrifice losing the next 3.
Yeah, correct, and they should. How many games has North Melbourne won? So I needed them to win 5 games. I
think you're in a bit of trouble.
They won 3.
They've won. They've got 18 points. They've got a draw. Remember? 4.5. Wouldn't that be funny? If they finish on 4.5 and you've missed out by a point.
I want to check.
Can I have a look at the run home for North? Because I'll be able to give you a bit of an idea.
No, I'm in a bet with Mates Group, and I believe that was our last chance to really.
No, your real chance. I mean, you got the Giants away. Probably not going to win that.
It's the bottom one here. I think I need 2 wins. Yeah, look.
Yeah, I'm just
it's over 5.5, isn't it? Is that right? Look, bottom one.
Oh no, you're cooked. Yeah, you're gone. I know you got the Tigers. You got the Tigers.
Yeah, so we need to win 2 of the last 3. I need them to come home on a steamer.
And you need in round 24 to knock over the Crows at Marvel Stadium.
Yeah.
Is that happening?
Well, good news is that Jeremy Cameron's been paid out for the Coleman. So
I did tell you that last week. I said you were home, and
Geelong defeated Port Adelaide by almost 100 points at Sleepy Hollow, Skilled Stadium. Jeremy Cameron kicked 6. They should just give him the ball at all costs now, Geelong.
Yeah. I had him down for 8. Anyway, that was we'll talk about Thursday. But can we quickly just touch on? I know that the result was taken care of, but the Tom Stewart MRO, he on Ollie Wines. I don't even think you've seen it, which wouldn't surprise me. But the Maynard incident, of course, with Brayshaw, going back a couple of years ago, similar in parts. I know people saying it's a footy act, and I've heard others saying he shouldn't be suspended. But once you leave the ground, and that's what he did, Ollie Wines did, though, come back, went off the ground, came back on. Once you leave the ground, you are susceptible to getting penalised.
So is he going to get weeks?
Under the new guidelines and I think he was trying to smother.
We don't know. Under the new guidelines, we don't know. But
he should. If that is, I think well, put it this way, he will be vulnerable to being suspended. There's no question about that, given the way that he left the ground. And once you do that, you put yourself at the mercy of fate. And he did crash into Ollie Wines. It's going to be an interesting call by Michael Christian today. You should have a look to see what you make of it.
Okay, mate, I will. Thanks for the advice. Shelter Brewing, beer fresh from the Busselton and Foreshore. Had plenty of them on the weekend, by the way. We'll just put. I got to get the questions and comments.
Yeah, you'll do that, and I've just got to ask you one question myself at the end.
Can you do it with the TV logo like you're in your hand, like when you ask me the question?
Okay.
So you want me to do these, and then you got the question?
Just one question. It's a pretty simple one. So you'll have been asked this before, but I still want to get the answer.
I don't.
No, it's okay. It's not going to surprise you.
Yeah, okay. Priority picks. All right, here we go. From the people. From Rotanui. Priority picks would help, even if end of first round and it ends up being pick 30. Could we use that to go towards a trade? Pick 30, Darcy Cameron, Davies, Erasmus. That, for example, then keep the picks we already have to hold. So I guess the priority would be extremely important for that component, getting the established players to.
So the Eagle supporter wants Darcy Cameron. He's talking about Erasmus and who else?
Davies. Is that Hugh Davies?
Hugh Davies.
Erasmus. We know that old mate at Sydney is on the cards. I'm fading, mate.
Not Chav Warner. Who are you talking about?
No. Young midfielder, Sheldrick.
Oh, yes.
Sheldrick. I heard a couple of interesting names during the week.
Let's go.
Actually. Gold Coast. I sort of half floated this last week.
You did. You said a forward to come to the Eagles.
Forward. Key
well,
forward from the Gold Coast.
Ben King, no. Jed Walter. Close. I'm very close. Very close. Your eyes say it. Is he West Australian?
I have no idea. I think there was some sort of tie.
Yeah, I think. There you go. Okay. Yeah, a bit like me being born in Canada and you just moved to Australia, so you're
chance to get drafted back to the NHL. Okay. Yeah. Well. Yeah. So.
Okay. Just concede that was the name. I got it right. There's not too many key forwards at Brisbane.
I didn't say that.
At Gold Coast, so.
Considering how compromised the draft was, because Charlie Curnow's going to go up there. Remember, I gave you the guarantee.
Yeah, it's done.
Considering how compromised the draft is these days, and the fact we've lost I'm assuming West Coast fans, Stu. We've lost 4 players to forced retirements due to CTE in 4 years. West Coast absolutely deserves a priority pick. The AFL needs to put something in place for all clubs that if they lose a certain number of players over a short period of time because of CTE retirements, they get draft assistance. Gov, Shep, Dan Venables would all still be playing on the weekend if they weren't told to retire.
It's a good shout. It's a good argument. I'm not sure if Don Pike's had that discussion with Greg Swan, but it is one that is, certainly for the Eagles' perspective, it's one that's been significant in their list in the past 3 or 4 years. Other clubs will go through that probably as well. But, yeah, I think it's a good point and well worth part of the overall discussion of what compensation comes their way.
My question, before we do the last one here, do we have a discrepancy in good and bad in teams bigger than any other year? Like we just went through half those games, was just like not interested, not even a chance of talking about this. Is that worse than any other year?
It feels this year's more pronounced, the fact that we've got a couple of good games last weekend, Brisbane, Collingwood, Adelaide, Hawthorn. I mean, Thursday was supposed to be a good game. So, but you're right. The Geelong Port game, Port are done, the Melbourne West Coast game, the St Kilda North. It seems like there's too many irrelevant games at the moment. Is that normal? Maybe it is. Like, maybe we're just...
Essendon's done. West Coast are done. North are done.
10 clubs done.
Richmond are pretty much done. But, like, if Melbourne plays any of those sides, they win by 100 points. So.
That's not great. I mean, the difference between the best and the worst in the AFL, has it lessened? I don't think so. Despite all the efforts of the salary cap, the draft, all the parameters put in place.
I'm just not convinced it's any worse than any other year. I know the way the ladder's scripted that only 9 teams can make the finals. I just think that every year there's a crap team, isn't there?
Yeah, you're probably right. But let's look at the bottom 3 clubs. Richmond 5 wins, North 4.5, West Coast 1. So 10 wins in 60 games for the bottom 3. It's just roughly that. You're probably right. It just feels like there's a no hope mentality for a lot of clubs this time of year to even be competitive.
Nevin Clark on YouTube says, I believe we need an NBA max contract system. Essentially, you can have 2 max contract players and those 2 sit outside the cap. Essentially, this gives North and Saints a chance to retain their best players.
Yeah, I'm not across the NBA.
I don't know how max... Tony, you're an NBA fan, aren't
you? Yeah, I'm not too much.
So the max contract, like, can they just pay them whatever they want?
Pretty much. Yeah.
They can?
Yeah, it's ridiculous money.
So how does that work with a salary cap?
Oh, and it's like, no, they sit outside the salary cap.
Oh, they sit, so like a marquee player.
Everyone get 2. And there's you're on $10 million, mate.
Problem with that is...
we're not privately owned, so that
and you look at clubs like the Eagles, be perfect for them.
Yeah, $40 million, here you go.
Well, and then you got clubs
Dacos.
like St Kilda who just couldn't compete. So if that's in terms of financially.
Yeah, I don't know how that actually works.
The better teams, a bit like the EPL, for instance, they would continue to thrive. I'm not sure it would help the equity.
If everyone had them though, and there was a way to control. I don't think you could have, unlimited money.
Yeah.
It'd have to be coming from somewhere, and it'd probably be controlled by the AFL in some way. I do like the idea of North Melbourne and St Kilda and Essendon and the teams that haven't been able to lure
they
big
can't
names.
compete.
Yeah, so I like a system that lets them compete.
I'm not sure that is the system that lets them compete. Though.
I don't know what it is either. Right, that's the end of the questions. What's the grand question?
It's not a grand question.
Jeez, everyone's waiting. Everyone's sitting around going, "Come on, Skater, get your question."
I meant to ask you last week, and I didn't. It's a TV question. How are you coping with having to call Matthew Pavlich Matthew instead of Pav and perhaps Adam? Or how are you at Fox coping with this change where nicknames are gone and you live on nicknames? How are you coping with it?
So I'm glad you asked me actually, because I find it hilarious. I struggle to toe company lines at the best of times. I'll just tell you what I think. I found it hilarious last week. I rocked up late last week. I was coaching Aquinas and it was organised. I was late, but I rocked up with 3 minutes before we went on air. So I was like getting strapped up, and 10 seconds ago, I just hear, "Remember no nicknames?" And I was like, "What?" I don't even know Pav's first name. Right?
Imagine poor old Jason Dunstall. No one's called him Jason for 100 years.
So I don't know how much of a directive it was. I don't think it was a don't use nicknames or you're fired, because I was certainly using them last week.
What is the reason though for it?
It was I have no idea. You think Will Schofield? You think I'm anywhere near?
You're part of the broadcast.
Yeah, but do you think that I'm anywhere near decision-making level at Fox? Do you think anyone would even tell me slightly what's going on? I just do what I'm told. I will tell you though, an interesting one that no one's really picked up on. We had 2 Adams on our broadcast last. Adam Simpson and Adam Babalea.
Yeah.
So the boys upstairs were doing Adam, and they didn't know who they were talking to.
That's true. It's been like I was on 6PR with Mark and Mark. It's like, and Doran, you got Doran, Foreman, Reddings. So that's no. So on 7 years today, we made a point of calling Skeeter, Shawnee Mac, Lecker, and Rhino. So we just made a point of being very nicknames.
You know what it did point out? There's a couple of people rolling around with no nickname, and I think that's a really like there's some.
Who doesn't have a nickname?
I saw it. Mitch Cleary. The Channel 7 gags. The Channel 7 gag was, bloody Daisy and Rui and
BT and
Hodgie and Mitch. Mate,
MC.
Mate, I'm sorry. You can't roll around with no nickname. That's a bigger issue.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Mitch Cleary's.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, but it's not his fault he's got a nickname.
No. What do you call people with no nickname? I think there's a nickname for people with no nickname.
Is that right?
Yeah, I thought I would understand, but it'd be probably a bit of personal attack on me.
Very true, Will.
Thank you, Mark. Really appreciate it. Great to be with you, mate. All right, I think I'm done.
I was supposed to ask that question about a week and a half ago. I forgot both times.
Do you want to maybe just say like a final goodbye to the audience with your TV logo? Because one, it'd be funny for you to do that, but two, I don't know what's going on with your jaw and your face, so we might not have you in here again. What if they have to take all your teeth out and half your tongue? Half your brain.
I don't know. I haven't.
How's it feeling?
After
an hour of talking,
a bit tender, but it's just cool. Just get on with it. I think I'll be one of those players like you, not overly talented, but just able to get out there week in, week out, and do a job.
Is that a compliment, is it?
Yes, it is.
One of those players like you.
Father and son, working beautifully. Thank you to all those who have supported the Shelter Footycast. And Scully, I look forward to seeing you. It's amazing. 1 week you're dressed like you're ready for success, and next you're about to go into an igloo in Antarctica.
Oh, well, that's what are you doing, mate? Your Kathmandu jacket on. You're out in the elements today, are you?
I'm going to the office and then I'm going to the studio.
You're wearing a fucking a hiking jacket. So don't come at me about my clothing. You got to go sit in the commission with the heaters on. You got a parka on.
I didn't say I was dressed to brave the elements. Anyway.
You came at me, mate. Now go off and bloody get your jaw sorted out.
No worries.
See you later.